So today for Tip Tuesday, I want to talk about keeping it game-like. And what I mean by that is when you're practicing, it needs to be game-like. So what I always like to tell my students, and I'm sure they've heard a million times, when you're practicing, whether it's off the tee, off a front toss, whatever you're doing, you want to be practicing because you're preparing yourself to play in games. You're preparing yourself to perform in that way. So I've seen some athletes where they'll do their tee work and their swing looks a lot different than when they get off of live because they're either not being intentional about it, so their swing is slower off the tee than it is when they get off a front toss or live hitting. So really we want that practice time to prepare us and help us translate into the game. So I say a lot of times, especially from tee work to cage work or tee work to live hitting, that you need to practice your tee work in a game-like manner. So don't slow down your swing. Now, unless it's a fundamental drill where you're slowing down, you're breaking down your swing, you're focusing on things, I get that. But even when you're breaking down your swing, you can still be going full speed. I think there's very few times where we're actually trying to slow down if we're trying to really hone in on something or learn something. But then once we get back up, your full speed on the tee needs to be your full speed in the game, because if it's not, first off, that's a timing issue. So if you're swinging slower off the tee than you are off a front toss, off a live pitching, it's not going to translate over either. And also, if you're practicing, you're fielding, you're out on a field, you're taking ground balls or fly balls, or you're pitching or catching, whatever it is, doing that with a sense of intensity like you would in a game, with a sense of focus like you would in a game. And one way that I think a lot of athletes forget to, when they're like, okay, I'm going hard in practice, yeah, I'm making it game-like, a lot of them forget to make it game-like in their mindset. So it's just as important to be working on game smarts and situational awareness during practice when you're, say you're in the outfield, for an example, and you're practicing with runners and you're throwing to bases. Have game-like situational awareness of, first off, if the ball comes to me, where do I need to go with the ball? Okay, and always having that mentality of the ball is going to come to me. But where do I need to go with that ball in this situation, in this situation? Do I know my runner? Do I know how quick my runner is? So there is so much good that can come out of doing everything in practice, making it game-like, whether that is physically, with your mentality, whatever it is. I think you should do it with all of it, but whatever the situation merits, that we are going hard and that we are thinking game-like and also physically performing in a game-like manner.